So for my oral presentation, I'm going to be doing it on my final essay topic. For my final essay, I did it on the short story, What We Talk About When We Talk About Love. This story goes over the idea of love. It is a group of friends who are sitting around discussing the idea of love. The reason why I chose this story is because the idea of love has always fascinated me. The idea of love, as I've learned over time, can vary from person to person, and no one has the exact same idea of how to love and how to receive love. Growing up, I've talked a lot with my friends and family about, how the people express love, and, if they really truly do love someone. I've talked to my siblings a lot about this. Both of my parents are very different types of people, and they express their love in different ways. My dad's a little bit more quiet, he's a little bit more serious, whereas my mom's a bit more outgoing and, that kind of squishy, warm type of love. Whereas my dad's a little bit colder, but, you can still know that he loves you. And they also, show their love in different ways. My dad, I know he loves me, but he does not show it as much as my mother. But he does show it in different ways than my mother, almost a little bit more serious type of way, whereas my mom is the more warm and, snuggly type of love. My dad's a little bit more stern and serious type. So in this story, we see how the different characters talk about their different backgrounds with love and their different relationship experiences. The biggest character in the story is Mel. Mel has voiced his opinion on what he deems to be love and not love. We see this when Terry, who is another character in the story, talks about how her ex-husband would be very mean to her and almost beat her. But Terry believes that he loved her so much, he did not know how to express his love in the right way. And Mel deems that to be completely wrong, and he does not see any sort of love in that. Whereas Terry can see the love, even though it might not look like it on the surface. And that's the tricky part about love. Considering that Mel was never in that situation, and Terry was, she can see and almost pick up a different sense than him. That's the big part about love. It might not be factual. It might, if you look at it through a certain view, it might not look like love whatsoever. But if you don't know that person and you're not in that situation, you really have no idea how it would feel. Love is not one of those things that you can just read on a piece of paper and that you can. It almost defies logic. Love is a feeling. I believe that love is a feeling. And that feeling is what creates true love. I have a girlfriend, and I tell her all the time that, I might say stupid things and we might say stupid things to each other, but we still love each other. It's because it's that feeling you get when you're around somebody. And it's that feeling you get when you're interacting around somebody. So, in this story, they continue to talk about how the love that her ex-husband had is not real. But the idea of logical love does not exist. When you look up love in the dictionary, it does not correlate to love in the real world whatsoever. I have seen many different types of people, many different types of relationships where people truly do love each other in almost sick ways. I've seen people hit each other, and that's the way they express love. The way people express love is very, very, very individual. Me, I am not a very open person. I don't like people to see me be all squishy and, soft and warm. But I express my love in a different way. And I try to use humor to express my love. It makes it a little bit easier. My girlfriend, she expresses expresses her love by doing very kind acts. She likes holding hands in public. I don't. She likes buying me all sorts of gifts. I'm not a big gift guy. I like to express my love by being there when somebody needs me. I am there when she's crying, and that's how I want to express my love. I want to be there on that big day. I want to be there for when she, gets that job offer, and I want to be there to support her. That's my way of loving somebody. Whereas my parents, I try to love them by respecting them. I want to do everything they say because I know that the thing they care about the most is my well-being. And I know they have my well-being at interest. My father, as I said before, is a little bit darker and colder. I like to express my love by cleaning my room, mowing the lawn, taking out the garbage, doing stuff like that. With my mother, she's a little bit, she's more, I don't want to say girly, but a little bit more warm and fuzzy. So I like to go out and I like to buy her flowers. I like to get her chocolates, Mother's Day cards, all that stuff. Whereas my dad, we don't kind of have that relationship. For my birthday, he doesn't, buy me all the gifts like my mom does. He kind of, last year, for example, he bought me my brakes. I needed new brakes for my car. He got me brakes. Whereas my mom, she got me all sorts of stuff, a car, this, that. And I believe that no matter what, I'm not a big gift guy. But if it has the right intention, it doesn't have to be with gifts. If you have the right intention, that can truly be love. I believe that the smallest act, as, just picking a flower out of the garden and giving it to someone, that can be the purest form of love. When you try to force love and almost force yourself into loving someone, that's when the problems start. So in the essay, I talked about how love can come in many forms and there are many different love languages. As I was saying before, I express it in different ways than my girlfriend. She expresses it in different ways for me. But love can be rooted in hatred if it is forced. I believe if you forced it, then it can almost turn into hatred. So in this story, Mel has his one-way opinion of love. He's seen how people interact, and he's seen how Terry's husband hurt her and all that stuff. But towards the end of the story, you could almost see how Mel's opinion almost changes and how he almost lightens up to the idea that, I might not have the full story, so who am I to judge if they loved each other or not? And that's the thing. You cannot, from an outside point of view, I do not believe that you can judge the way other people love each other. I do not believe that if I'm looking at one of my friends' relationships, I do not believe I can say that, he doesn't love her, blah, 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 he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. It's because at the end of the day, the only person who would know is the two people in that story, my friend and his girlfriend. And from the outside, it might not look like it, but again, love is not really outside. It's not you cannot see it. You can only feel it. And that's the thing. I cannot feel how they feel. I cannot feel how his girlfriend feels. Even though I see some things that might say otherwise, I do not know that feeling. So that's what I've been trying to get at this whole presentation, is that I know me. I do not know anyone else's feelings. I can feel when I feel like I am being loved. I can feel like when I'm trying to, I hope, I have an idea in my head when I'm trying to express love, and I do it in different ways. And I do not believe that it is fair for someone like Mel to judge Terry, even though, logically, it might not look like it. He does not know her feelings. He does not know how they feel and how they interacted. So I think that people should really not misconstrued the idea of love with, logic. It's because love defies logic in a sense. And love is truly anything. Anything to anyone. And I've seen a lot of people interpret love in many different ways. And I do not think it is fair for anyone to judge anyone based upon the way they love and receive love. But yeah, that's it. I just, I wanted to talk about love and kind of back up my point of that, love is anything. And love can be as simple as, the flower, or, it could be buying, your girlfriend a car. But that's it. Thank you.